Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Andrea Caldini, Vice President for Network Engineering for the East at Verizon. Thank you for joining us, Andrea.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, you are down in Atlanta, and a lot of football fans heading that way. And it's not just because you're a fan that you're there. Tell us what you're up to.
Yeah, no, I have the greatest job in the world. I work with a team of Verizon engineers here who build the best wireless networks, and it's really part of our DNA. And these networks support our customers, our communities, businesses, and our first responders. And here in Atlanta, we've been preparing for the Super Bowl for the last 2 years. We've invested around 97 million in and around the city of Atlanta to support the influx of customers who will be coming here to this great event. And our goal is to put in as many permanent solutions as possible so that after we leave the city, we leave it stronger than it was before. And before was very strong as we see that we've won root metrics here for the last 10 consecutive times.
Now, it's interesting. You've got so many people who are going to be packed into Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and
hmm
a large percentage of them are going to be using their mobile devices, and a large percentage of those obviously are going to be using Verizon's network, and that's on top of everything else going around with the media, et cetera, et cetera. Tell us about the challenges that poses for you.
Yeah, so as we look at the number of customers that are going to be coming into Atlanta for the different events, so not only do you have the Super Bowl, but you have the week leading up to it, and there's many concerts. There's different venues where media is. We have over at Phillips Arena, we had media night on Monday night, where again, we have an in-building system that we've put in. And then just think of the hotels, right, where the NFL is staying. So we have in-building systems supporting the media and the hotels, as well as where we think most of the customers will be staying for this event. So, as we prepare, we not only look at outside in Centennial Olympic Park, inside the World Congress Center, where we have a lot of the NFL activities, and then the practice facilities where both teams are staying, the hotels where the teams are staying. So, it's not just the stadium, it's everywhere we think the crowds will be, in the restaurants, at the different events, the different concerts, the pop-up concerts that come about. So we really have to prepare the whole city, both outside and indoor, as we think of the number of people that will be coming to these events.
And I can't even venture to guess how many selfies are going to be taken, how much video is going to be streamed.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's different about a Super Bowl versus a normal game. So if you think about a normal game, we have much more people downloading. At a Super Bowl, you have a lot more uploads. So you have people who want to show where they are, who want to show the kickoff, who want to take pictures and post them. So it's really very interesting as we see the differences between a Super Bowl game and a normal game that we see throughout the year.
Can you quantify the investment Verizon's making down there for this?
Yeah, so we've invested around 97 million in the last 2 years to support this. And it's really a 2-year project as you think about the amount of fiber we need to put in the ground to be able to support the solutions that we're putting up on the poles. If you think about small cell solutions, in and around the park, around the stadium, out in the airport, we've done a really good job getting access on the tarmac, which traditionally has been a very difficult place for providers to provide service. But we want to make sure that when you come into the city, as soon as you land, you have great service.
Since the work starts so far ahead of time, your folks are already busy down in Florida where the next 2 Super Bowls are going to be played, right?
Yeah, so since I have the East, this is my first Super Bowl. I was out in Minnesota last year with my colleague from the West who had the previous Super Bowls. And so I have this year's, and then I get to finish on Monday. And then, well, we've already started down in Miami, and then we've started in Tampa as well. So we have the next 2 in our Florida market.
So the crews are already getting busy down there. So tell us, in Atlanta there, the network is ready for all this?
Yep, we are ready. We have walk testers out. I have my team. We have our command center set up here in Atlanta, and then we have a team of walk testers that are out and around. They're at all the events. They're testing the network. They're looking for any type of interference. There's things that could come up where something that wasn't there before is now brought in for the game, or some type of speaker, or they're doing some reconfiguration. A great example is at Phillips Arena for Media Night. They put a huge floor above, 10 feet above where the normal floor is, so they could get all of the media out onto this area. We had to scramble and move some of our antennas that were now underneath the new floor up and above it so that we could support Media Night, and then tear it all down for the concert that's coming this Thursday. So we have a team of folks here. They're out with all of our customers, with our first responders. We have been working with the first responder community for the last 2 years in preparation. We do that also down in Florida, and just making sure that everybody comes here, has a safe and fun event.
And I guess you really do have to expect the unexpected.
Yes, that's what, we're always here on, backups for the backup. So we have a number of temporary solutions that are actually placed out in Centennial Olympic Park that we don't have turned on right now. But if something happens, we could then turn that on and use those that asset. So we think about, if something happens, how do we react? What is the plan for any type of contingency, so that we're really prepared for anything that could happen down there?
So much that most of us don't stop to think about all of the work that goes on behind the scenes, especially with you folks, the kind of work that you do.
Yeah, and we work really closely with the NFL, understanding where the different events are going to be, so that we make sure that we have the solutions in the right place for where the masses of people will be.
Terrific. Again, it's Andrea Caldini, Vice President of Network Engineering for the East at Verizon. Thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C. Crane.